Bullet Club.
Hello, welcome back to the channel. For those before, welcome to the channel. If this is your first time with us, this is Leanne Presents. I am Alan, this is Leanne, and as you've already seen from the title card about 10 seconds ago, these are our predictions for the forthcoming AEW Revolution pay-per-view. That's right, pay-per-view, not premium live event. Get that PLE crap out of here. This is where the big boys wrestle. This is where the best wrestle, AEW. This particular event is happening on March 9th, so this coming weekend, on a Sunday.
Boo.
Thanks, Tony Khan. Thanks, pal. Really screwing our lives with that.
Yep.
From Los Angeles and the Crypto.com Arena.
Yay, crypto.
Yeah. Oh, well, less about that, the better. So, obviously, there's a lot more value for money, I guess, in a sense.
Yeah.
I mean, it depends how you're getting WWE stuff, but it's still going to be a better value for money anyway. So AEW always has a lot better value for money with their
More
stuff.
stuff.
There's already
in.
10 matches announced for this PPV.
How many were there for the last WWE one?
4. The last one ran for 3.5 hours. This will probably run for 4 hours with 10 matches.
Even if we counted the Elimination Chambers as 2 matches each because they go a bit longer, it's still not even close.
The last 2 PLEs have had 4 matches.
Yeah.
It's awful. So with that being said, we are just going to slam straight into it because there is a lot of matches to talk about, and I'm keen not to have this video run for like 2, 3, 4 hours. You know, that's the full length of the PPV at that point. If you're watching this and you want to see us do longer form stuff, maybe I don't know, podcast audio only, maybe you know, let us know. You know, we're open to suggestions. This isn't the end all and be all. We are very much open to suggestions for whatever you, the fans and the viewers of our channel, want to see. So, one last bit of housekeeping. Obviously, we are recording this just after watching Dynamite from last night. There is Collision to go prior to this event happening. If anything is to be announced, new matches, new stipulations, etc., we will put them in the description to this video down below here for updates on our predictions. So let's say Leanne predicts someone to win a match, and then something happens in Collision. She's like, actually, you know what? I think I'm going to change my mind. I think this person's going to win instead. All that will be captured down below in the description to this video. Done that. There is only 1 match so far announced for the 0 hour. There will probably be another 2 or 3 announced, I'd imagine, prior to the event. But as it stands right now, the only match we have, and it's the first one we're going to be talking about, is Big Boom AJ, Orange Cassidy, and Mark Briscoe taking on MXM Collection and Johnny TV. So we've seen some stuff on AEW. We don't watch Ring of Honor. We haven't got enough time to watch everything, unfortunately. In terms of Ring of Honor and New Japan, I've watched New Japan as best I can and keep up with it. Leanne doesn't, because there's not enough hours in the day for us both to be watching loads of stuff we need to, especially with all the new stuff that's coming out and the stuff we're in our backlist to watch. But they've been sort of having a bit of back and forth with Johnny TV, and they kind of idolize him, and he's come along and he's like, oh, you know, you guys seem like my kind of people, maybe we should collaborate, kind of thing, which is, you know, I kind of like the way they were doing that. It was quite good. I still don't understand where this Big Boom AJ is coming around. I don't know why he's still here. Just boom off, you know? But then he's like, oh, well, we need to find 2 partners because, you know, we're going to face MXM and Johnny TV. And then it's like, oh, yeah. And then the kid, I can't even remember his name. It's like, oh, yeah, I know a guy. Orange Cassidy turns up. And he's like, yeah, there's 3 of us. And Big Boom's like, no, you're not getting in the match. We'll find someone else. Orange Cassidy said, well, I know a friend. And in comes Mark Briscoe. Whoop-de-doo. Great. Awesome. And that's pretty much it. There's been nothing else. Literally nothing else for this match. I don't understand this Big Boom stuff. I really don't get it. It's boring. It annoys me. And then all the people who were like, oh, you're AEW marks. Yes. We also like a good product. And this particular thing is not good. Yeah,
Here's probably what it is. It's like they're influencers. They review stuff at Costco or something. And they have catchphrases.
The
and they have
people.
really big personalities. And for people who watch their stuff and know the catchphrases and get in with that energy, I'm sure they're loving this so much.
You know the problem, though?
We don't want it.
Yeah. One, we're not in America. I think this is very much America targeted because I don't think we have Costco.
Yeah,
in the
we
UK.
have Costco in the UK, yes. Yeah, my parents used to have a Costco card.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, that's news to me. That's weird.
Yeah,
I'm older
we do.
than you and I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
But the whole thing of like, oh, boom is my thing. Guess what? Adam Cole did it.
Yeah.
Like, what, 15 years ago, pal? get a new gimmick.
Yeah, it's very. I think it's a very niche thing. I can't imagine many people watching who weren't already fans of these guys are very much enjoying it. Maybe
Yeah.
a couple,
Maybe.
because it is like some people's personality is that, so it's fine. But it's not for us. I think we mentioned it in
Yeah,
the
when he
last one we
fought
were
QT
in.
Marshall at Full Gear.
Yeah, it's like it's a comedy piece, it's a joke piece, it's a throwaway match on the 0 hour,
And it's like,
so it's fine.
I have no problem with comedy pieces. I have no problem with things like that. It's good to make a hiccups now, apparently. But this guy him and his kid, I really don't like.
The kid's like, I'm gonna be the best AEW wrestler in the world. And I'm like, no,
I just don't like them.
no.
I really just don't like them. I just don't
too
like
much.
it.
They're too much.
Yeah,
Can you imagine bumping into them in the shop and them talking your ear off? They would
just come up to you and go, boom! And I'd be like, boom off before I put you in
just punch
hospital.
Right in the face.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, that's all I want to really dedicate to that in terms of time, because I'm not interested in this at all. Who you got with him?
It's probably Boom AJ and the people.
Boom, Orange Cassidy, and Briscoe.
Yeah, the ones. Yeah, because.
Yeah, I got the same.
Pandering.
I got the same. That Boom guy. Yeah,
the Boom guy.
It's Orange Cassidy and Briscoe.
Yeah.
You know, that's the thing. They seem to be caught up at the moment. It's a shame because MXM have got talent, so is Johnny TV. But yeah. So moving on to the main show then. If you've seen our prediction videos before, you'll know how this runs. We generally cover the pre-show in terms of non-title matches, followed by title matches, and then we skip to the main show and then go non-title matches in order of most looking forward to, followed by the title matches in order I'm most looking forward to. So first up, we're going to cover the non-title matches, of which there is 3. And there's obviously 6 title matches on this card as well.
Ooh.
So 9 on the main card thus far and 1 on the pre-show.
Yeah.
First one we're going to be talking about is whose house?
Swerve's house
versus Ricochet.
Yeah.
The winner of this match gets a number 1 contendership for the AEW World Championship. So I mean, it's kind of funny that the Acclaimed are no longer a thing, because Swerve and Ricochet seem to have taken up the whole scissor party thing.
Yes.
He's going to leave me hanging, huh? Obviously, there's Ricochet has had a beef with Swerve, and he's carrying around a pair of golden scissors, which he has used to attack Swerve on multiple occasions. They did have a match just over a month ago, I think it was. Details a bit sketchy. It has been nearly 2.5 months since the last PPV. But Ricochet did actually win that match, which obviously has put a crow up in Swerve's cage.
Yeah.
He didn't like that fact. But also, what did Ricochet do when he won that? He took the robe.
Yeah, that's when
he took Prince Nana's robe. So the whole thing when the embassy was created, obviously the faction of the embassy, Prince Nana sort of had the robe, I guess, presented to the leader, who was Swerve at the time. Swerve obviously lost the fight. He did a beatdown, and then the robe got stolen, and Swerve and Nana won it back. And that's pretty much been the driving force behind this thing at the moment.
Yeah.
So much so that I believe it was last week's Dynamite. It might have been the week before, where Nana and Swerve are in the ring, and Swerve's about to walk out, and Prince Nana's like, no, Swerve, I need to bend you a minute. And he's like, look, if you don't get this done, we're done. You don't get the robe back, we're done. And you could tell Swerve was like, what? Sorry, what, pal?
Yeah.
So obviously this is quite important for Prince Nana.
Yeah.
Quite big stakes for that.
He had a really quite emotional face-off with Ricochet, Prince Nana, without Swerve, where he was basically giving him a chance to just give the robe back.
Do the right thing, yeah.
And that was really impactful. It really showed the importance of this robe and what it really meant.
Yeah.
So this is very good. Prince Nana is really good.
Yes. I mean, he's been in the industry for decades.
Yeah, I didn't realise that.
Yeah.
So it's really cool.
Obviously, we would fast forward then to last night, as it were, on Dynamite, as we're recording this, which we've just finished watching. And we had the contract signing. And obviously the scissors came out. But prior to that, Ricochet dropped some hints, and they're like, well, Nana and Swerve like, well, where's the robe?
Yeah.
And Tony's like, well, where's the robe? Tony Schiavone is, where's the robe? And Ricochet's like, yeah, don't worry. It's safe. It's having some upgrades. And Nana starts losing it. And he's like, And Tony's like, right, everyone just calm down, sign the contracts, let's get this done. Obviously, it ends up into a brawl.
Mhm.
Ricochet gets stabbed with some scissors. Well, he tries to stab Swerve. Swerve grabs him, pulls out scissors of his own, straight in Ricochet's head. And then we obviously get to the main event where it's Swerve and Brody King versus Okada and Ricochet.
Mhm.
We'll talk about Brody King versus Okada a little bit later on. And Ricochet hits Swerve with the Continental title and pins Swerve
Yeah.
to win.
Yeah.
So that's a bit of an upset just before the pay-per-view, isn't it?
Mm.
But yeah, the biggest, well, there's two big factors in this, is the robe.
Yeah.
And the number one contendership.
Mhm.
You know, because Ricochet wasn't going to give him a match
No.
until, I think it might have been Nandri, I can't remember who it was that said it now. It was saying that, okay, how about sweeten the pot, winner of this match gets number one contendership. And Ricochet was like, huh? You have me interested now. And obviously then he obviously accepted to the match. Anything else you want to add to this?
Not in terms of like backstory. I think getting to the match itself, it's going to be interesting because both these guys can play dirty if they want to.
Yeah.
And have proven that. So it's sort of it's going to be a hard one to predict, I think, because anything could happen. And I think if either of these guys win, it's going to propel the story forwards.
Yes.
It's not like a finishing point here.
No. This is just another rung on that ladder.
Yeah, which is always interesting because it means there's more up for grabs, you know?
Sort of going back to Swerve and previous feuds, look at the Hangman feud.
Mm-hmm.
He fought him a few times before he got to that point in that steel cage lights out match. And obviously that took it to that very tip-top level of, oh my God, this is finally done. Because it felt finite. It felt like it was finished at that point. And I don't think this is anywhere near that.
Nah, we got a ways to go.
No. That being said, then who have you got?
I think.
Oh, hi, right.
Oh, it's really difficult. I'm gonna go Swerve.
Swerve?
Partly
Reasoning?
because of Ricochet winning last night. So sort of turning the table. So it's sort of putting in people's minds that Ricochet could win. Which in my mind is saying, yeah, but is he gonna though?
Yeah.
And I think it's that getting the robe back is such a big factor in it that we can't lose Prince Nana right now. I think he's very important.
Yeah.
So we want to keep him, but it will be interesting then to see what the robe looks like now. What are you thinking, like booty shorts?
Oh God, no, man. Oh, Jesus. Aye. So I'm wondering if there's room for a potential. So I've got two potential outcomes in my head. Well, three technically. One of them is, what if Ricochet has an equalizer to neutralize Prince Nana?
Okay.
What if Samantha Irving turns up?
Ooh, interesting.
Because they've obviously name dropped her. Well, no, they haven't name dropped her. They mentioned his ring announcer wife, even though they're not married. Ring announcer wife was the term. Rags is looking over the table if he's going to jump up. Secondly,
there he is.
What if Nana pulls a Swerve, double crosses Strickland, joins Ricochet, and grants him the robe, and that's why the upgrades are being taken, because Nana has given him the okay to do so.
Okay. I don't like that one.
The other one would be, what if Swerve does win, but Nana still turns on him? Okay. But then he wouldn't, well, you'd grant the robe back to him, I guess, and then I guess you could turn on him. It's kind of a bit of a mix. The two most likely ones I see is Samantha Irving turning up, and Nana turning on Swerve.
Okay. Interesting.
So I'm going Ricochet.
Okay.
I'm going Ricochet.
It is like one of those anything could happen.
It really is. There's so many elements and loose, well, not loose, there's so many different strands you could follow on this particular one. And it obviously depends on which one they're actually going to go down.
Yes.
But I really like Swerve.
Yeah.
But I don't know if I want to see him chasing a title again right now.
Yeah, fair enough.
I think you need to keep him away from that right now, because he doesn't need it. Everything he's doing on his own is great. He doesn't need the title right now. So why put him in the contendership?
Yep.
Because it'll make him look weak if he doesn't win it.
Fair enough.
You know?
Cool. I got cat hair in my eyes.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. Okay, next up we've got another vicious vicious one.
Yeah.
I mean, all the three of the non-title matches are quite vicious, actually. We've got Maxwell Jacob Friedman versus the Hangman Adam Page. So, again, they started back quite a little bit of time ago, and if I remember rightly, MJF was having an interview, and Adam Page just kind of went, yeah, this is my time now, jog on. And they kind of got into a little bit of a spat. And then I think the next week, I think one was in the ring, the other guy came down and started attacking him. It's a bit of a blur because we caught up in the last sort of few weeks in quite a short amount of time because we had no free time recently.
Yeah.
But there's been a lot of back and forth. There's been a lot of really angry words. There's been a lot of beatings.
Yes.
On both men's behalves. Even so much so, the last night, it took what? Well, the security come in, MJF beat them all up, and he grabbed some lighter fluid and said, Hangman, you like to burn stuff? Let's see you like this. And I thought, oh God, he's going to torch his truck. No, he gets in the ring and starts pouring lighter fluid on Hangman after he's put him out. And it's like, wait. Yeah. And then like 12 security guards pile the ring and literally carry MJF out of the ring. It's like, oh, nice to see you're actually doing something for a change.
Yeah, it's amazing. Security can actually break up a fight. Wow.
Yeah. But it's probably, there's not really much else to say but this has been so tense and so impact, and everything that both of these guys have said to each other has been quite hard hitting and visceral.
Yeah.
And so much so as well with the Christopher Daniels stuff. Obviously, Hangman Page beat Christopher Daniels in a Texas death match, retired Christopher Daniels due to injuries. And MJF played on that. He kind of said to Hangman Page some lines of, well, you beat up your best friend. What are you going to do to other people if you can't respect your best friend? And kind of made it look like he's nothing more than an animal, like an out-of-control monster kind of thing. And then MJF goes and beats up Christopher Daniels, leaves him in a bloody pile, like blood everywhere kind of thing. And he comes out with a towel, didn't he? Hangman's in the ring. He's come up with the towel, throws it on. He went, "Yeah, you might want to go and check on your friend," and legs it at the back, and then Hangman just. But it's like, oh my God, it's nuts. I'm really looking forward to this. Yep. This isn't going to be pretty.
No.
This is going to be two guys just beating the living hell out of each other, and I'm all in for it. I really am. It's going to be awesome.
For sure.
Anything else you got to say about this?
I don't think so. There's been some really good promos, getting really intense. You can imagine from both these guys that intensity. The last one from MJF, who was literally just yelling into the camera.
Yeah. What was the shirt he had?
MJF did nothing wrong.
Yeah, because Hangman's got Hangman in it.
Yeah.
There is a tweet by Pro Wrestling Tees, and it says MJF forced us to make this shirt. It's now on sale.
Nice. That's very MJF.
I thought that was great. Like if you'd said to me a year ago that I'd be invested in a Hangman Page, I would have been like, yeah, okay, pull the other one. He's really turned himself around, and I really like this Hangman Page. I really do.
Just the vicious.
It's just
like he's on a mission.
Yeah.
He's like,
I'm on a mission. I don't give a toss what anyone thinks. I'm going to do whatever the hell I want to get to what I want.
Single-minded determination.
And it's great. And it's not, oh, I want the world title. I want the world title. I want the world title. It's just, it's not even that. It's just like, yeah, I'm just here to kick ass.
Yeah.
And obviously he's got his sights set on MJF. And I was like, I want to kick MJF's ass. And it's great. And I love it. Who have you got?
Oh, it's another difficult one. I don't know. I'm gonna go MJF.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Reasoning?
I think it'd be a good story. I really don't know. I think it could lead to more. I think, but it is hard.
This is another one where it's like, okay, this again. There's a couple of threads you could go down. Hangman Page could absolutely just destroy MJF.
Yeah.
And that would make MJF like really clamber for some revenge and really want to sort of ramp it up to the next level. Alternatively, what if Christopher Daniels, and he said, if you ever need someone, I'm there for you, Hangman, but obviously Daniels is retired because of Hangman. So what if Christopher Daniels is actually working for MJF? And there is still the payoff that we haven't seen yet. So there's this photo going around from last year where Tony Khan met with Shane McMahon.
Yeah.
Who's to say that Shane McMahon doesn't come in during this and say, oh yes, we're like an authority figure. Christopher Daniels and I are backing MJF and help him screw Hangman.
Okay.
To try and keep that money in AEW because they don't want to go down. I mean, that's tattoo lasers off.
Yes.
And I'm wondering if Tony Khan said to him, here's some money, go get the tattoo, but then we're going to laser you in a couple of months.
Yeah. I was wondering if it was all from the start.
Oh dear.
He's on your notes. He's on the notes.
But as much as I'm really enjoying Hangman Page right now, I do believe the same as you. I think Rex, come on, off you go. I think MJF is going to win it.
Yeah.
I think they'd be daft to cut. Oh, that's cat butt, just full camera cat butt.
Yay.
I think that as much as Hangman is on a hot streak right now, he doesn't necessarily need the win.
Yeah.
Not that I think MJF necessarily needs it, but I think it would serve MJF better right now.
Yeah, I agree.
So I'm going MJF.
Cool.
So then, last match we've got of our non-title matches, and it's the most looking forward to match for me in terms of non-title matches. We've got the Billy Goat, Will Ospreay, versus the Proto-Star, Kyle Fletcher, in a steel cage match.
Nice.
So, obviously this has been brewing for a while, since November. Well, just before November, maybe October time. Where they had their first match against each other in AEW. I'm not sure if they fought each other before that, actually. I don't think they have. But yeah, so we had Ospreay versus Fletcher at Full Gear. Kyle Fletcher wins.
Yeah.
And everyone was like, what the hell? Great match. Then at World's End, Will Ospreay ties the victories in the Continental Classic, of thereby eliminating Kyle Fletcher from the Continental Championship tournament. So that's 1-1. Then at Grand Slam, he being Ospreay, tied with Kenny Omega. And it's like, wait, Kenny's tagging with Will Ospreay? Oh my god, this might be the best tag team ever. To face off against Konosuke Takeshita. Again, we'll talk about Konosuke versus Kenny later on. And Kyle Fletcher. And after a Hidden Blade One-Winged Angel combination on Konosuke Takeshita, Kenny and Ospreay pick up the win. But they were clever not to have Ospreay pin Fletcher.
Yeah.
Very cleverly done. And I'm really enjoying the sort of nuances with this. And a lot of people don't, like, again, going back to slight bitch fest of WWE fans. Oh, you know, AEW can't do storytelling. This is pure storytelling.
Yeah. Agreed.
Through the actual wins and losses.
For
because
sure.
the wins and losses do matter in more than just the numbers sense, you know? And obviously since then, I mean, they've been back and forth, and Mark Davis has now been roped in against his will into the Don Callis family because he has a contract. And he's been beating up on Ospreay, and they had a match last night. It was an 8-man tag. It was Murder Machines, Brian Keith, and Mark Davis against Will Ospreay, Orange Cassidy, Mark Briscoe, and Powerhouse Hobbs. Yes, did it. And that was savage. And obviously, when the match ended, the Don Callis family, as always, got their meat hooks into Ospreay. You had Mark Davis put him in a sleeper hold and choked him out, so Ospreay's out. And then they bring in the chair, and they're kind of pushing Mark Davis around. And it's only going to be so far down the line that Mark Davis can take this before he snaps and he kind of starts smacking Kyle Fletcher around or the Murder Machines around. You know, it's only going to be a matter of time.
Yeah, there already seemed to be some tension.
Oh yeah, he doesn't want to do it. You can clearly see he doesn't want to do it. And obviously this is kind of where the steel cage matches come from, is that it's to keep all the Don Callis family out of the match, because there's always interference from Don Callis.
Yeah.
There's always
Apologies
interference.
if there was a bang on the mic. Greg's just hit the mic.
There's always interference from the Don Callis family, because that's the way they are. That's the way they roll, you know. But yeah, this again, there's not really much out. There's been back and forth. There's the fans are still chanting like Ospreay is better. He went to Australia, Kyle Fletcher's own country, and got booed out of the arena in favor of Will Ospreay. You know, then that's heelism done right, definitely. There by Kyle Fletcher. I thought it was fantastic. But this is the rubber match. It's going to be the winner of this gets the edge up on the other person. It'll be the 2-1 decisive, as it were, victory. Anything else you gonna say that?
No, I think you covered it quite well.
What you got?
I'm gonna go Ospreay.
Yeah.
Yeah. It might be. There's gonna be interference. Whether it's where Mark Davis decides he's had enough.
Oh yeah, they can say, oh yeah, we're gonna keep a steel cage match to keep everyone out. It just never works for you that way.
No, they'll get in there somehow, or at least like interfere in some way. I'm gonna go Ospreay.
Yeah.
We'll see. It's another one that even if Fletcher wins, it still feels like it's going to be a great match.
Oh yeah,
I'm not going to be disappointed either way.
This could be one of the matches of the night,
Yeah,
if not the match of the night, if not a match of the year contender, without a shadow of a doubt.
Yep.
I'm going Ospreay as well.
Yep. Oh, there we go.
I feel that, as you said, I think Mark Davis will probably get involved in this. And obviously he's probably close to his breaking point at this point. He's being beaten around by the Don Callis family. He's being pushed around. He doesn't want to be involved in this stuff with Will Ospreay, but they're kind of not giving him a choice because of the contractual agreements and whatnot. So it'll probably be something on the lines of right, okay, Mark Davis, you've done that, you're fired, your contract's terminated, and then Tony Khan will be like, well, no, he's hired back to AEW. I think they've done that somewhere before, maybe in WWF or WWE. I can't remember who it was, but it was just some time ago. But yeah, I definitely think Ospreay's going to take this one.
Yeah.
But it doesn't necessarily mean the story's ending, though. That's the thing.
Nope.
There's a lot of these things, it doesn't necessarily mean it's the end of the story.
No,
you know?
It's like the end of a chapter, potentially.
Yeah.
But still got the rest of the book.
Yeah, exactly. It's got fern on my neck. Thanks, Rex. So then we're going to move on to our title matches. So starting off with the least anticipated title match, to no one's surprise, Mercedes Mone defending the TBS Championship against Momo Watanabe.
Yeah.
That's probably a name you don't remember much of.
Not much, but I sort of seeing the little bits that she's been involved recently. It's like, yeah, she's got something.
You've seen a match of Momo before?
Yeah, is she on Forbidden Door?
Wrestle Dynasty.
Wrestle Dynasty.
Wrestle Dynasty was the show on January 5th, which was a collaboration between New Japan, CMLL, Ring of Honor, and AEW, after the Wrestle Kingdom event on January 4th, which happens every year on January 4th. Momo Watanabe defeated, who was it? It was Willow, Athena, and there was another lady in the match whose name has gone, Tekla from CMLL. So Athena from Ring of Honor, Willow from AEW, Tekla from CMLL, and then Momo Watanabe from Stardom / New Japan. Momo won it, and the winner of that match got to pick the champion of their choosing from any of those four promotions to take on at any point that they want.
Yeah.
She, Mercedes defended her title against Harley Cameron in Australia at Grand Slam. Unfortunately, she did retain against Harley Cameron.
Yeah.
I think Harley, just as a side note, Harley Cameron as a TBS champion would have been hilarious.
It'll happen.
Her game has gone from here to here in a very short amount of time.
She's one of the best
My
things happening
God,
in that women's
she's
division
so
right
good.
now.
So
funny.
fun. Such fun. But at Grand Slam, Momo Watanabe was in the front row. She was scouting the competition, is what they're going to put it as. After the match, Mercedes goes over, gets in her face. I think she pie-faced her.
Yeah.
And then, obviously, they decided on Dynamite the next week. They're like, yep, Momo Watanabe has decided to take you on at Revolution. And Mercedes kind of loses her bleep a little bit. And she's like, I told you, Ray, no surprise, blah, 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 blah. And it's like, yeah, she just starts having a bit of a meltdown.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Yeah, and then the next week, it's Billy Starks is walking around and she's got like a cup of water or a cup of coffee or something. Mercedes walks up to her and she's like, if you see Momo, tell her I'm looking for her, or tell her, give this message or whatever. I don't even pay attention to Mercedes these days because she just winds me up a tree. But then she kind of knocks the cup and throws it in her face. Billy Starks' face, she's dripping wet. But then I can't remember if it was that time or the next time we see her. Momo's right behind her with a baseball bat. And Mercedes, she's like, you better turn around. It might have been the same time. I think it was the same time. You better watch your back. And then as Mercedes turns around, Momo starts swinging with his bat. Yeah. And then she kind of runs off like a coward, dropping her title. And then Momo obviously picks it up and she's like,
yep.
Cool.
I mean, carrying 4 titles around, you're bound to drop some at some point.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, 4 belts. Oh, God, yeah. Momo is having a match on Collision.
Okay.
I don't remember who it was against. They announced it last night on Dynamite, but I'll be damned if I can remember who it was against. So that'll be interesting. Mercedes is probably going to be on commentary, or she'll at least be on the ramp, sort of watching or on the outside of the ring. But it'll be interesting to see that because I know you haven't seen much of Momo Watanabe. I've not seen much of Momo Watanabe, to be honest. But it'll be interesting to see how they progress the story forward from there on Collision prior to the event. That's probably about everything we've got because there hasn't been too much about this. Who have you got now?
I would love to see Momo win.
Yep.
But I think Mercedes is winning.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think if someone's going to take that title, it's going to be someone who's signed with AEW, I think. But I reckon Momo's going to put up a good fight and maybe show some cracks.
I agree. As much as I would love to see someone from New Japan or Stardom take that title.
Anyone take it.
I mean, yeah, but it's. Yes. I think the thing is, right, AEW promote themselves as a worldwide promotion. They do. They have their stars go around. Konosuke Takeshita, he's in New Japan. He's facing Hiroshi Tanahashi at Windy City Riot in April in Hiroshi Tanahashi's last match in the United States. So he went to Wrestle Dynasty. He wrestled in Japan. Jack Perry wrestled in Japan. The Young Bucks are the current IWGP Tag Team Champions. There's a lot of back and forth and world kind of traveling emphasis on AEW, which is fantastic, and I love it.
There's not a lot of
They
championship
need,
sharing.
yeah,
outside.
they need to have an AEW title go to Stardom, go to New Japan.
So they've clearly got titles coming in.
Yes.
We need some titles going out. Yeah,
Agreed.
that makes sense.
So I'm the same as you. I would love to see Momo win. It's probably not going to happen.
Right.
In fact, I'm pretty much guaranteeing it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
Probably because Mercedes Moné is a bit of a whinger, and she probably went, "Oh, I'm going to lose the title. That's not happening."
I want to get one of those puppets. Me.
Yeah, Mercedes Moné. But I think she is going to give her a hell of a fight, and she'll get out by the skin of her teeth against Momo.
Yeah.
Cool. Next match then we're going to talk about is for the World Tag Team Championships, which sees the recently crowned Hurt Syndicate taking on the best tag team from the 80s, the Outrunners.
The youngest men alive. Love these guys.
I mean, this all came about just by having Hurt Syndicate walk past the Outrunners in the locker room after sort of going out and kind of making it known to the Murder Machines. They kind of were watching them. Or no, the other way around, sorry. Hurt Syndicate were in the ring. Murder Machines come out and have a bit of a stare down.
Mm-hmm.
And then in the back, Hurt Syndicate walking past the Outrunners. And the Outrunners are like, oh, hey, how about we get a shot of those titles? And they're like, tell you what, go beat the Murder Machines, and then we'll see what happens.
Yeah. And
MVP is like, because obviously he's playing off the two guys who won a title shot against each other, which is quite clever.
Yeah.
Fast forward, Outrunners beat Murder Machines, obviously, because we're at this point now where we know they're taking on Hurt Syndicate.
Yeah. I think Hurt Syndicate influenced that. I think they were a distraction.
Yes.
I believe.
Yeah, I think so. And there's been a couple of promos back and forth, but nothing sort of too much to say else about you.
No,
there was that
most
very
of the Outrunners promos are just Outrunners.
Yeah, very VHS.
Yeah, not really like trying to achieve anything, just being 80s.
Yeah, very very 80s, very VHS with the scan lines and whatnot.
Yeah.
If anyone not watching this isn't old enough to know what a VHS tape is, go through it in your Google machine. Yeah, anything else? I've got nothing else on this one.
I got nothing else. That's good.
Cool,
it's gonna be fun. I want to put this as my pick.
Okay.
Because I would absolutely be overjoyed if Outrunners win it. I kind of don't think it's going to happen. I think they're going to have an example made of them.
Yeah.
But just the sheer joy in my heart if it happened would just be great. So I'm gonna say it's my I can't remember what you're calling it.
Desired result.
It's my desired result. That's the one.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm going the opposite. I'm going Hurt Syndicate.
Yeah.
I would say Hurt Runners then. I'm going Hurt Syndicate.
Good collab.
Again, I would really love to see the Outrunners win this.
Oh my goodness, it would be amazing if they were champs.
Because that would be absolutely hilarious.
Oh, can you imagine?
But I don't think it's time yet.
It's probably not.
So Hurt Syndicate's had the belts for like less than a month.
I know.
I can't imagine it happening right.
They got to hurt people first.
They hurt people.
They do hurt.
They hurt people.
Okay.
The crowd chanting that is crazy.
Yeah. So
good. And yet, what were they doing in WWE? Next to nothing.
Yeah.
Sitting in catering, doing nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Dear God. Okay, next up on the card, we've got for the Continental Championship, Kazuchika Okada defending against the Hounds of Hell's Brody King.
Mm.
Oof. Can you say barn burner? Can you say slugfest? Can you say meat match?
Definitely a meat match.
Oh, this is going to be great. So, Buddy Matthews challenged Okada to a match at Grand Slam for the same championship, the Continental Championship. Obviously, Buddy Matthews is from Australia. At some point during the match, there was, I can't remember if it was when he took a spill to the outside, he lands and he starts clutching at his shin and his ankle.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh no, that looks too real. That looks too much. That looks like it's real. I think he has done something to his ankle. He has been walking around, seen wearing a boot. He's been seen crutches and strapping on his ankle. So it looks like Buddy Matthews is out for an indeterminate amount of time. Hopefully not long. We just lost Malachi Black. The House of Black is no more.
Yeah.
Julia Hart's obviously still there. Brody King and Buddy Matthews, they're now the Hounds of Hell. Gutted the House of Black is over.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie, because that was my favorite thing in AEW.
Mm-hmm.
Buddy Matthews loses the match to Okada, obviously, because Okada's facing Brody King for the title at this event. And during an interview segment with Brody King and Julia Hart, Okada just sort of walks out of the locker room and straight into the shot, and he's like, "Oh, sorry, bitch." And it kind of starts off the whole, "Oh wait, hang on, they're teasing this. Wait a minute." Fast forward to Julia Hart in a match with Queen Amanata. I think it was last week on Collision. After the match, Queen Amanata wins. After the match, Julia Hart's down the ring selling, being injured or beaten and whatnot. Brody King comes down, up pops Okada from behind, and then just sort of puts a beat down on Brody King and then sort of takes him out. Obviously leads into that. The main event from Dynamite last night, which we already touched on, was Swerve and King versus Ricochet and Okada. Getting to see Okada and King just go at it was beautiful in that point, a tag match. Seeing these guys go one-on-one is going to be even better. I'm so looking forward to this. It's going to be great.
Yeah, it is.
So good.
They're two very different wrestlers, but
yeah,
something about it just works. So it's going to be great.
The thing with this, in my mind, Okada's taken on a lot of people.
Yes.
Brody King could be the first actual credible threat to this title.
Yeah.
He's bigger than Okada. He's stronger than Okada.
Yep. He's got skills.
He's more unpredictable than most of the opponents Okada's taken on.
Yeah. Maybe not more unpredictable than Okada.
True. But how do you beat unpredictability? By throwing a chaotic element in.
Yep.
And if Brody King is nothing else, he is chaos.
For sure. Yes.
And that's actually kind of a pun, I guess, in a sense, because Okada was in the faction called Chaos in New Japan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It works.
That wasn't on purpose, but it works.
Good. Happy
it
accident.
Works, yeah. Anything else you can say about that?
No, it's going to be a really good match.
That's going to be awesome. It's going to be incredible.
There's not many on this card that isn't a good match.
No, I know, right? In that case, we got...
Very, very difficult.
Yes.
Extremely difficult.
Yes.
Okada retain. Yeah. I think he's got a bit more. I know this is like maybe the credible threat, but it might be the first in a couple of matches. He might come back for a rematch and then more stuff happens. I don't know. It feels like it might not be the match to lose the title, but it might be. I don't know. I have no idea.
I can't remember how long Okada's held the title.
Mm.
It's got to be close to a year. Gotta be. I'm gonna decide result for Brody King.
Yeah.
I don't want to bet against the Hounds.
Yeah.
The Hounds always win. So I'm using my desired result to pick Brody King
cool.
for this match.
So is that because in reality you think Okada's probably gonna win it?
Yeah. But I really want to see King take it. After the loss of Malachi and Buddy being dealt with an injury,
want a bit of a boost to
I think we need a boost of morale to the Hounds of Hell. Yeah.
Especially since Julia Hart's been losing so much.
She lost one match.
So much.
Yeah, fair point. Yeah, she lost one match and she came back. And she looks great since she came back. She's been doing really well. She's so good. Speaking of females and women's wrestling. Next match we're going to talk about is for the AEW Women's World Championship. And it sees Toni Storm defending against Mariah May. That's right. If you watch from pay-per-view to pay-per-view, you don't know that Toni Storm is once again the women's champion after beating Mariah May in Toni Storm's own backyard at Grand Slam in Australia.
Yeah.
With a small package of all things.
Yes. The best things come in small packages.
Yes.
As Tony said before going into some innuendos.
Yeah. I'm not sure if that was the right move, but I can see why they did it. Yeah. Toni Storm is now the first ever 3-time AEW Women's Champion.
And she wears it well.
She does. Obviously, Mariah May didn't take it very well, the loss. A couple of weeks later on Dynamite, Toni Storm's giving a spotlight kind of interview, whatnot. Out comes Mariah May and attacks her from behind. Hits a Storm Zero on the metal ramp. Yeah. Cue to next week, we've got Toni Storm laying in a hospital bed with this massive neck collar on, giving this really sort of deadpan promo. Yeah. Saying that she's spoken to TK, good old Tony Khan, and they've made it no disqualifications, no countouts, no rope breaks, anything goes. Yeah. A true Hollywood ending. Much like we were talking about with Ospreay and Fletcher earlier, this will be the rubber match. Yeah. Mariah May beat Toni Storm for the title at Wembley. We were there at All In. And obviously Toni Storm has now beaten Mariah May for the title. So this is the rubber match. This is the
rubber match.
decider. Now, last night on Dynamite, we had that sit-down interview with Renee. And Mariah May's gone off the deep end.
Oh, yeah.
And that's putting it nicely.
She's lost it.
She has, all the marbles are no longer there. She hasn't just lost them, they've left the planet.
And to look mental across the table from Toni Storm is quite something. Because that woman is also
unstable.
that stuff.
Back guano.
Back guano.
Back guano. Guano. It's Ventura. Yeah, that was a really well done interview, I thought.
Because Toni, again, was pretty much deadpan. She
Quite
definitely had more life to her than in the hospital bed.
Yeah,
but she was very, matter of fact.
Yeah, very stoic, very
playing
calm.
It straight against the madness, which is very different for Toni Storm, but it works because she has all the cards at this point.
I did like Mariah May leaning over and sort of clutching onto Renee's leg, sort of leaning, and sort of was like, "Oh my god,
poor Renee."
But it's kind of like it's like almost like that Harley Quinn fracture. You can see the psyche breaking in Mariah May, you know. And it'll be interesting to say, regardless of who wins this, it'll be interesting to see how they progress Mariah May from this point.
Yes, definitely.
I think that's going to be very interesting. Have you got anything else?
No, other than this is another very difficult one for me, I think, to predict.
Yeah.
I could see it going either way.
I mean, a year ago, would you have thought Mariah May is on top of this women's division?
No,
exactly.
She was definitely she
certainly had something, yeah.
And you could see she was going to go far, but she rocketed so fast. She done such a good job, and then this character development as well. She showed a real progression in that. And, skills. She's learned a lot from a lot of people and really put her own spin on it. It's excellent. Toni Storm, while just a few years ago we were saying she's boring, overrated,
deadweight,
and she just created something so unique and has managed to carry that with different sort of characterization throughout it, but she's still the same character and doing kind of the same thing, but keeping it fresh.
Even sort of faking being the old Toni Storm
that was so
with
good.
memory loss and whatnot. And then she gets beaten down by Mariah, and all of a sudden on the microphone, you're, what makes you think I've forgotten? And then Mariah May is just kind of like...
Such a good moment.
It's cinema. It is literally cinema.
But it makes this match feel a little bittersweet for me, because it's like, this is the rubber match, this is the decider. It's an end point in some degree. What it's the end of, it's hard to tell.
Yeah. It'll be renewed in the future, I guarantee you. Regardless of what the ending is, this will be renewed in the future.
So I kind of want to say I think Toni's going to retain.
Yeah.
Because I think the fracturing we're seeing with Mariah May could really do something if it's then sparked by something big, like not getting that championship and then back of the line.
Yeah.
So that could give her a scope to do something drastically different as well.
Yeah.
Where Toni goes from there, I don't know. Because there is a danger there after all of this time, finishing with Toni Storm.
It's plateaued.
It could potentially go stale, but we've already seen she can make changes.
Speaking of stale.
So I have no doubt she could do something. It's a little bit, I don't know, something makes me feel like I kind of don't want it to end in a way, which is unusual. We've seen these guys fight. This is the third time.
Yeah.
It's not often that I would think I want to see more of it, but it's probably the right time to end it. But I don't know, it's bittersweet, like I said.
Yeah. I'm going Toni Storm as well. I think I kind of want to see how this psyche crack or whatever you want to call it from Mariah May goes.
Yeah.
She gets the title back. It's probably going to fix it per se.
Yes.
If she doesn't, it's going to push her further over the edge, and it's going to crack, and it's going to be really interesting to see how it goes.
Yeah.
Also, I'm not a big fan of flip-flopping a title so much.
No.
And I really don't want to see that. Mariah May had the title from August till February. What's that? 6 months. Toni Storm's had it for 3 weeks. I don't want to see her lose it in 3 weeks, because that would also make Toni Storm look weak.
Yeah, very true.
It would lose all credibility, and I think that's not a good look for Toni Storm or the AEW Women's Championship. Cool. So next up then, and people are probably going to think this is the main event for me and the most looking forward to match, but it's not. For the AEW World title, Jon Moxley is defending against the Rated R superstar Cope.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what I feel about that.
Yeah.
Cope.
I don't know.
Cope.
I don't like it. But I like that they're still
Copeland
calling
works.
him Adam Copeland,
Well, that's his real name.
aka Cope.
Yeah.
So it's not like he's just Cope.
But I don't, I just put Copeland if you can do that. Just put Copeland, Because I think, in my mind, it's because his main wrestling persona throughout his entire career has been Edge.
Yes, they
It's
want
a
a
single
snappy
syllable.
Mhm.
Edge. Cope. Doesn't really work for me.
Not the same. It sounds like he's trying to cope.
Yeah, exactly. He turned back up after his ankle injury. He suffered in the steel cage match with Malachi Black. I want to say it was like April last year, I think it was. I haven't got my notebook from that far back. Obviously, he's got pins and plates and all that kind of stuff in his leg and his ankle now because he really messed his ankle up in his leg. And he came back to side with AEW in the fight against the Death Riders.
Yes.
So, who was it Moxley was fighting at World's End? Hang on, I'm going to knock off my drink here. So it was the 4-way match between Mox, Orange, Hangman, and Switchblade. So Moxley obviously retains, and they're obviously Death Riders putting the beat down on everyone else. Out comes Copeland, Adam Copeland, to help fight off the Death Riders. In an unlikely turn of events, Switchblade Jay White has become sort of really good allies.
Yeah.
I don't want to use the word friend.
Allies, yeah.
I don't want to use the word friend. I don't think that's the right term.
They definitely have a common enemy and a common goal at the moment.
So much so that they tagged up against Claudio Castagnoli and Jon Moxley in Australia at Grand Slam. And they unfortunately did lose that match due to outside interference. I mean, it was just like a street fight. So, I mean, you can't really blame the Death Riders for cheating on that because it wasn't cheating. Because there was no cheating in that match because it doesn't count.
Yep.
But obviously, Yuta came out. I don't think Pac was there. Marina Shafir came out and sort of helped to turn the tide against Copeland and Switchblade.
Yeah.
But since then, Copeland and Switchblade, with the help of Willow as well, have been taking each of the chess pieces off the board for the Death Riders. So first was Pac, when they concertoed him.
Yeah.
Copeland hit the concerto.
He's punishing you for saying Edge.
I know, right? On Copeland. Oh my God. Copeland hit the concerto. You distracted me now, Rex. On Pac.
Yes.
Took him out. So he's carted off in an ambulance.
Yeah.
So then the next week, you got Claudio Castagnoli and you've got Marina Shafir. And they've both kind of laid out on the mat with chairs under them. And it's like, oh God, no, Copeland cannot do this to Marina. Copeland cannot do this to Marina. Out comes Willow.
Yeah.
And Willow has no problem doing it after all the stuff that they've been doing to her as well. Because Marina Shafir has been barging into her, beating up Willow backstage for no reason.
Yeah.
So Willow's like, right, screw this, give me the chair. Wham!
No hesitation.
And obviously Copeland hits it on Claudio Castagnoli as well. Cue, 2 more people going to hospital.
In the same ambulance.
In the same ambulance.
It's nice, they're sharing.
Moxley's starting to look a bit nervous at this point.
Yeah.
Then cut to last night on Dynamite. Wheeler Yuta versus Copeland. He said Edge again. And Copeland wins, obviously. You know, as good as Yuta is in the ring, Edge is a former, 11-time world champ?
You can say Edge that time because you're talking about his former stuff.
Yeah,
it's fine.
Yeah. Adam Copeland, God, I just can't get past it. Adam Copeland is a former time, I think it's 11-time world champ.
Yeah.
There's no way in hell Wheeler Yuta was winning that match. But Moxley gets all pissy.
He is. At the end of the match,
yes,
instead of concertoing Wheeler Yuta, and he said Wheater, Copeland shakes his hand.
It's getting late at night here, just saying.
And says, this is what respect looks like. Because
it's clear Moxley, Claudio, and Pac don't respect Wheeler.
No,
not by a long shot.
He's been getting beatings from his own team. He doesn't need a beating from Copeland.
Back when they were in the Blackpool Combat Club, even Bryan Danielson would beat up Wheeler Yuta and he would fail as a lesson. You know, it's like, no, come on. But yeah, I think that certainly speaks volumes. Whether or not it's going to fracture that with Yuta and Mox, I don't know.
Yeah, so it was after the match. Moxley came out to admonish Wheeler Yuta for losing. Yeah. And then Wheeler Yuta's basically like, I'm not taking this, and walks off. Yeah. And Moxley storms after him. Yeah. Just saying like, go on then, walk away.
And he does.
Yeah. But whether that's sort of the the plan to make it look like Moxley's alone.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking, see, because
Yeah.
obviously Yuta came in to help Bryan
Mhm.
Danielson.
Yeah,
What happened?
a plastic
Berserker knee to Bryan Danielson.
Yeah,
Followed by the
didn't go
plastic
good.
bag. Exactly. So, yeah, I think this is subdiverge.
yeah,
It's certainly trying to make it look like
yeah.
Wheeler Yuta and Moxley having problems, but as you say, I think it's definitely a ploy.
I feel like I'm sort
and-
of about 40-60 that it's a ploy or not.
Yeah.
I'm not
In
100%
favor
sure.
of or against?
I think most likely it's a ploy,
Yeah.
but there's still that possibility
Yeah,
that
yeah.
Wheeler
I'm
is
probably
gonna
more.
be the bigger man, you know?
I'm probably more 75-25.
Yeah.
But I had a thought in my head.
Sorry.
Yes, but I think Copeland, and later on in the night at Dynamite, Switchblade came out to answer the challenge from Max Caster.
Yes, you did.
And I manifested. I said, "Wouldn't it be funny if he hits the ring, hits a Blade Runner, and pins him?"
Mhm.
What happens?
Just one move.
Rings the bell, hits a Blade Runner, pins him. Job done.
So good.
Switchblade, former IWGP Heavyweight Champion. Come on,
Yeah.
he's one of the best in the world. Undoubtedly one of the best in the world. Former leader of Bullet Club, for God's sake. You know?
Mhm.
He got the mic. He said, "I'm going to be at ringside for Copeland versus Mock to see Cope win the AEW Championship from
Yeah.
Jon Moxley."
So even if Wheeler Yuta does come back, at least there's an equalizer.
Yes, yeah. So I definitely think that Copeland and Switchblade have that on the very back of the mind. They're like, oh yeah, you know, they're putting up a good show.
Mhm.
Wheeler Yuta is probably still in Moxley's pocket.
Yeah.
So we're going to make sure all the bases are covered. And
Yeah.
so far, they've done it.
Mhm.
Anything else you want to say about this?
It's gonna be good.
It's going to be so good.
It's gonna be good.
So good. And this is the last of the former Shield members
Mhm.
that Copeland has to face in a one-on-one match.
Yeah. Well, that's nice.
Took on Seth Rollins, he took on
Mhm.
Roman Reigns, now he's taking on the former Dean Ambrose.
Yeah.
Anything else you could say?
It's another really hard one.
Yeah, who have you got then?
It's difficult. It's like, if there's at any point that Moxley's gonna lose this is probably gonna be it because everyone else is being taken out, apart from potentially Wheeler Yuta. But there's always sort of been this inkling that someone else is pulling the strings, and that hasn't been paid off yet. So
The whole thing was it was going to be Shane McMahon. That was the whole, when that picture came
Yeah.
around, it's like, oh, Shane's the leader of the Death Riders.
But it's like, has it not paid off because it's still coming? Or is it not paid off because they've had to change plans? Because it hasn't really been mentioned recently. So it's sort of, that's playing in my mind as...
I think the
Could be
problem
a
is a lot of the
thing.
IWC, the Internet Wrestling Community,
Uh-huh.
have been bitching about this storyline. What's even going on? What's the story here? There's not a story, it's just pointless.
Is it?
Are you not watching from week to week? Are you not listening to what they're saying?
I will grant. The briefcase
Yeah, that doesn't...
doesn't fit the title, so...
I mean, yeah,
Maybe it does,
it
but
kind
it's
of makes sense in the
Yeah.
status of the title. You don't need to see it.
Yes.
It's just a bauble.
It just feels like it should be a bigger briefcase.
Yeah, I
That's
mean, we
my
should
only
get a
problem with
briefcase
it.
and try our one in there. But yeah,
But
but I can see why. I can see in that sense as to people, but I can also understand it from the side of what Moxley is saying in
yes.
terms of the storyline as well.
So it is difficult because if there's something more to it, then Moxley should keep the title and keep it going. But if they've sort of had to change the plans and there isn't anything more, this is the time for Copeland to take the title. And then maybe they discover it's not in the briefcase. And then there's a whole thing about trying to get possession of it.
The problem with that would be, well, I say they can move it at some point after that, but obviously they've had the briefcase, they hit people with it, so they have to have a weight of something in there to make it seem like it's in there. Otherwise, Copeland will pick it up and going, well, this is empty.
Yeah, because I mean, he's taken it.
Yeah, he's taken it.
There's
He's
gotta
hit
be,
people in the
drops
head
in
with
it or
it.
something.
Yeah, yeah.
So I'm gonna go with Copeland to win.
Well, gone for Copeland, okay.
But with all that sort of caveat behind it, that you don't like think, she's taking the easy route, and you know.
Yeah.
I have thought this through somehow for some reason. Go on, your turn.
Moxley.
Okay.
What if?
Yes, I love a what if.
What if?
Shane McMahon.
No. What if a different person is either
Switchblade.
A, the leader, or B, in the pocket of Jon Moxley?
Switchblade.
Switchblade. It's very on brand for Switchblade.
I love it.
Why would he be so adamant about being out there And then Wheeler Yuta putting up this performance of, walking out. No. Obviously, Switchblade is going to be out there to be a neutralizer, but what if he's not? What if he's an instigator and he helps Moxley retain? He joins the Death Riders, or is the leader of the Death Riders?
Because Switchblade didn't deliver any of those concertos, did he?
No. Nope.
Get your tin hats on, guys.
But there is another thread which plays in your favor.
Ooh.
Okay, there's another thing that's popped in my head. Copeland wins.
Yeah.
Okay. Who has the guaranteed AEW World Title shot? Christian Cage. Who's to say Copeland wins? Out comes Christian and the Patriarchy, beats down Copeland, takes the title there and then.
Yeah.
Just like he did with the TNT title.
Yeah.
That's the other way I see it going.
Okay. We got some possibilities.
Yeah. I would really love to see Shane McMahon turn up.
Yeah.
Because that would just be like a big middle finger to Vince.
Yeah. It just kind of feels like it's such a long time ago that photo happened.
I can't even remember when it came out now off the top of my head. I think it was September.
Yeah. It's just like,
maybe.
It feels like if anything was going to happen with that, surely it would have happened by now.
Long burn.
We love a long burn.
Yeah. So then that leads us on to the final match we're going to talk about.
Whoop,
And
whoop.
that is going to be for the International Championship, Konosuke Takeshita defending against the returning Kenny Omega, the best bout machine.
And this is why it's your most looking forward to match,
hell
because
yeah.
it's Kenny.
It's both of these
Yeah,
guys. Konosuke is amazing. Kenny Omega is the best bout machine.
Yeah.
Hands down, this match will be solid fire. Guaranteed.
Yep.
Okay. This could potentially be the match of the year. Hands down.
And we're only in March.
Okay. So there's a lot of history between these guys. I'm not going to delve fully into it because we've already kind of covered parts of this with Ospreay and Fletcher and the Callis family with Kenny Omega tagging up with Ospreay. But Konosuke Takeshita, they're pushing the fact that he beat Kenny Omega not once, but twice in the span of 1 week.
Yeah.
At All In, 2023, we were there. We saw it in that tag match. And then the next week at All Out in the one-on-one match, Takeshita beat Kenny Omega. Most likely, I can't remember the exact thing of it, but I'm pretty sure that was with Don Callis' help.
Yeah.
But it's still a big claim. It's still a bold statement for someone who's still new to this industry. You know, as I mentioned earlier as well, Konosuke Takeshita is taking on Hiroshi Tanahashi at Windy City Riot in Chicago in April in Hiroshi Tanahashi's last match on United States soil. That is huge.
Yeah.
The president of New Japan, it's his final year.
Yeah.
And he said it's Konosuke. There's going to be his last match on American soil. That's a massive rub for Konosuke Takeshita.
He must be so happy.
I would be ecstatic.
I would be crying.
I'm getting chills just thinking about it.
It's really special.
It's going to be great. It's going to be so good. I mean, and again, it's kind of the back and forth. Konosuke's been beating him up. Kenny's been, obviously, he's had diverticulitis. He's had, was it like a couple of feet of intestines removed because of the diverticulitis? They're kind of playing that up with the beatdowns from the Don Callis family. Konosuke Takeshita's kind of doing that as well. So they've been kind of tormenting Kenny Omega in that sense. I've written notes, but I can't even read what I've written now, which is really fun.
Oh no. Can't even blame Rags this time.
No, I know. But yeah, I mean, and we haven't seen Kenny Omega properly in a couple of weeks. He's probably taking some time because he's probably feeling run down after.
Yeah.
He's had a long time off and whatnot. But I have absolutely no doubt that he's getting in shape. He's getting ready for this match, and this is going to be a solid 5-star match from both of these guys. This is going to be pinnacle. Anything else?
Don Callis family getting involved?
I think it'll definitely be something there. Whether or not Ospreay, it depends on where each of the matches happen.
Yes, very much so.
Excuse me, it happened on the card. Ospreay could come out and help.
Yeah.
Who else got beef with the Don Callis family? Powerhouse Hobbs.
So many people.
Powerhouse Hobbs has got a feud at the moment. He could come out to help. Mark Davis, if he's turned on the family by this point, he could come out to help too. So there's a lot of different moving parts that you could kind of pull into this. Definitely. But it all depends on which of the two matches is first.
Yeah,
That's
absolutely.
The trick of it. That's the trick of it. Because obviously, if this is before the steel cage match, Ospreay's not going to want to come out and help.
No, because he needs to be ready.
Because he needs to be ready for his match.
Yeah.
Alternatively, if he's already had his match, he's got nothing to lose by helping Kenny.
As long as it's not directly after, because he might be just wiped out.
I think he
Who
still would
knows?
anyway. I think he still
He'll
would anyway.
hobble out.
Yeah.
It'll be fine.
I think it would be daft having two back-to-back Don
Yeah.
Callis family matches.
Yeah, I think so.
On
Don
a
Callis would have
Dynamite,
paid someone for that not to happen.
yeah, on a Dynamite or Collision, fair enough. On a PPV, yeah, probably not.
Mhm.
Yeah. Anything else on top of that?
No,
Nope,
it's
we
going to be great. It's going to be good. Let's go, Kenny.
Yep.
Kenny. It's the triumphant return.
I'm going Kenny Omega.
Yes.
Yeah. Kenny Omega, if he wins this, will be the first person to win the tag title,
Mhm.
heavyweight title, or the world title, and the international championship.
And if anyone's going to have that first,
Yeah.
Kenny deserves it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. The amount of stuff he's gone through,
Mhm.
injuries and accusations thrown at him by Fragile Phil, being bitten by the, you know what, it's on the past.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think, Kenny Omega, hands down, and he is one of he's probably my favorite active wrestler right now.
Yeah.
I have no qualms about that. I am playing favorites on this. But I also think it's time for him to hold a title.
Yeah.
Because I really don't want to jinx it like this, but diverticulitis is something that's very serious.
Yes.
And he has said, even before he had diverticulitis, when he had his, I think it was a shoulder injury,
Mhm.
don't quote me on that one, that if he gets injured to that degree again,
That's it.
he's not seeing it as value anymore in his body.
Yeah.
He's calling it quits.
Which is really sensible, honestly.
It is very
If
sensible.
anything, it's more sensible to quit before you get the injury.
But yeah. But when I say
Yes,
there's like
it's got
diverticulitis, obviously taking a lot out of him. It's taken a
Yes.
year and a half of his career.
Yeah.
How much longer has he got in that gas tank?
Yeah.
And I hate it because Stone Cold Steve Austin had to retire early because of the neck injury.
Mhm.
Kenny Omega may have to retire early because of his
Yeah.
injuries. And it's like, God, all my favorites, all the people I like as the favorite guys,
Yeah.
they just,
But
it's
part of it is they put so much into it. They leave
Yeah.
everything in the
Yeah.
ring, and
Yeah.
it takes a toll. It really does, and
Yeah.
that's like, it's kind of why it happens. But I don't know. It feels like at the same time we want him to retire when he's ready.
yes,
On his own
on his own
terms.
terms, yeah.
For sure.
But I
So,
think, so I think having a title now, I think that elevates him up again, and it gives him a godlike status almost in
Yeah.
the company, something that no one else has done,
Mhm.
and he absolutely deserves it.
Yeah, and
The
then he
amount
can
of stuff he's
decide what
dealt
he wants to
with.
do and how
Exactly,
he
yeah,
wants to do after that.
Exactly.
And like the beatings he's taken recently is sort of
They look nasty too.
yeah, and they've made it so to make him feel like it's not a sure thing, but then he gets that boost and that rise to beat the odds and win it. I think it just makes a really good story.
It does. Yeah.
I need to win.
Cool. So that's 10 matches of
Whew.
Revolution 2025. Coming in just over an hour, I think. What's your least looking forward to match on this card?
Oh no, it's the one on the 0 hour. I'm sorry.
I'm tied between that and the
Big Boom
Mercedes
one.
match.
For me, the Big Boom one is worse because sometimes Mercedes does a good move. It has happened.
A single good move. She needs to stop doing the Eddie's shoulder shuffle because it looks awful.
Yeah, no. Yes, that one.
Yeah, I think I have to agree. It's going to be the Big Boom.
Yeah. He
knob.
shouldn't be in the ring.
No. Oh, he's a former wrestler. Yeah, show me his accolades. Show me his trophies. Show me his championships. He was in the industry for a cup of coffee. You know. What's your most looking forward to match?
Oh, this one's hard. I think it might be Kenny and Takeshita.
100% for me, Kenny versus
Yeah.
Konosuke.
There are a couple
Absolutely,
of them
hands
that
down.
are up there for
Yeah,
me, but
it's-
even just like what it means for Kenny
Yeah,
is
yeah.
sort of giving it that boost.
It's-
I feel quite emotional when we were talking about it.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
more than just it's a title.
Yeah, it
It's
means something.
and this could elevate his status, and it's this.
Mhm.
I think for me it was this or the steel cage.
Yeah,
Ospreay
Yeah.
and Fletcher are going to put on an absolute burner as
it's
well.
gonna be great.
It's going to be so good.
Oh.
Cool. So yeah, our reactions to this will be up. It's probably going to be Tuesday,
Tuesday?
depending how long the PPV is and how late I get home from work.
Yeah.
It may even push it to Wednesday.
We'll try for Tuesday, but please be patient with us.
Yeah, we'll get it up as soon as we can.
We both work full time, and they put it on a Sunday. It's not our fault,
Yeah. Thanks, Tony.
but
Khan.
we'll try. Thank you for your patience.
Yeah.
We
Takes away,
appreciate it.
Leanne.
Thank you so much for watching. We will be back, like we said, with our reactions in the week at some point. So keep an eye out for that. Please like this video if you liked it. Hit subscribe and the bell to be notified when we drop new videos. Our socials are in our link tree, which is in the description down below. So follow us there. We're on Instagram, Facebook, and X. I send them in a different order every time.
No, you don't.
Nearly. I switch Instagram and Facebook. So yeah, follow us on those in any order you want. And talk to us there or in the comments. Let us know what match you're looking forward to the most.
Don't forget as well, if there's any updates, new matches, any stipulation, we will update the description to this video down below prior to the event starting.
Yeah. And that's it from us. Until next time, do Kenny's thing. Do Kenny's thing. We'll finish with Kenny's thing. I can't remember it.
You put me on the spot and my head's just gone blank.
Good night.
I bid you adieu.
Adieu, that one. This is terrible.
So from us, it's good night. Mwah, goodbye and good night. Bang. Damn it, you put me on the spot.
You're welcome. Bye.
Bullet Club.